In the morning of February 1922, the then British Prime Minister David Lloyd George received a telegram informing him that large bands of insurgents had crossed the emerging frontier. This group comprised of men who were known to be both pro and anti-treaty, which was very significant at the time. Among the large body of insurgents were a group of 10 men comprising of 5 volunteers and officers for Leitrim, 3 from Longford. It was a man Frank Riley, William Riley and Joseph Lee, along with the famous Sean Flood from Dublin and Jim Davis from Derry. These were called the Peterhead 10. Today I would like to focus on the 5 individuals from County Leitrim. Joseph Reynolds from Mahacashel sacrificed his youth and his liberty to fight for Ireland. He was involved in the struggle from freedom from a very young age, having been instructed by Sean McDermott and also Leitrim as early as 1913, and he worked closely with Countess Markovich. Following his release from Peterhead, he emigrated to the US, and during World War II he served in the American Army as a radio operator. He became president of the Leitrim Society in New York and died in 1987. It was his Joseph's grandniece, Linda McManus from Sligo, who first contacted me about the centenary of their release. The next man I would like to speak about is John Joe Griffin from Gartalay in Drumshanbo, a teacher before he joined the 1st Battalion in Leitrim, and then he went on to serve in the newly founded Garda Síochána, which my own grandfather was part of the 1st Guards as well, serving in Limerick and Portlaoise, and he went his reward in 1971. The next man is Charlie Reynolds, also from Drumshanbo, also joined the Gardaí after the Civil War. Bernie Sweeney from Ballinamore, a member of the South Leitrim Flying Column, was the survivor of the Selton ambush near Gorva in 1921, during which he was seriously injured and 6 members of the Flying Column were killed. Following the War of Independence and Civil War, he established a family business in Ballinamore, passing away in 1974. John Kiernan from Newtown Gore was only 19 when he was arrested. He'd not been involved in the War of Independence and was probably recruited for the operation because he had a good knowledge of driving and motor cars. After his release, he went to run the family business in Newtown Gore. He died in 1931, very sadly only aged 23, and his years of incarceration cut his life all too short. These 5 men from County Leitrim were 5 ordinary men who were called on to do extraordinary things. And Leitrim was and remains a border county. And the proximity, I suppose, of this artificial border continues to have an impact, and a cultural impact around, an economic impact within areas such as the border counties where we live. So the campaign we're looking for is that they will be recognised. They'll get the proper recognition that they deserve. The campaign is supported by Leitrim and Longford County Councils. Deputy Michael Carrigy and my constituency colleagues, Deputy Martin Kenny and Minister Frank Feehan, are aware of the campaign. Leitrim and Longford County Councils are currently arranging exhibitions to mark the event, to commemorate the event, and because it's such a unique situation and because it was a mixture between pro and anti-treaty troops fighting in this, that they need the recognition that they deserve.